Welcome, to today's deep dive. Our mission today is unpacking the 1939 first edition of Alcoholics Anonymous to um, decode this really baffling paradox.
Right. The question of why highly intelligent people repeatedly engage in totally self-destructive behavior.
Exactly, because usually we assume a smart person operates sort of like a supercomputer, right? You feed it data from past mistakes, and it just logically avoids them in the future.
Yeah, it's a comforting assumption. Like if you're smart enough, you can just outthink your worst habits.
But chronic addiction completely shatters that. Suddenly, the supercomputer starts spitting out, well, absolute gibberish. And the text tackles this by radically redefining insanity.
Right. It's not a clinical psychosis. It's more of a localized, peculiar mental twist.
Okay, so to really understand this insanity, we first have to see how the 1939 text maps the disease out across three interconnected layers.
Yeah, the architecture of it is fascinating. It starts with the physical, which they define as an allergy.
Meaning an abnormal physiological reaction, right? Someone takes one drink, and their body physically demands more. It just overrides any conscious choice to stop.
Exactly. But, why take that first drink if you know the allergy is there?
Yeah.
That brings us to the spiritual layer.
Right.
It's described as this profound restlessness and discontent, like just feeling deeply uncomfortable in your own skin. And the substance provides temporary relief from that spiritual ache.
Okay, let's unpack this. So you have physical cravings and spiritual discomfort, but the crucial bridge between them is that third layer, the mental layer.
Yes, the mental blank spot. This is where the actual insanity happens.
And it's not a continuous state of madness, right? It operates more like a glitch. I mean, normally if you burn your hand on a hot stove, the memory of that pain stops you from ever touching it again.
Your brain protects you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this mental twist, it introduces a blank spot. Right before they take the first drink, the memory of past pain, the lost jobs, the humiliation
And that vanishes.
completely vanishes. The resolve is replaced by insanely trivial excuses. Like, there's the case of Jim, a salesman.
Oh, yeah, Jim.
He loses everything. He totally understands the severity of his problem, but then suddenly convinces himself he can safely drink whiskey as long as he mixes it with milk.
Wait, whiskey and milk?
Yeah,
The logic just evaporates entirely. It's like watching someone voluntarily dodge fast-moving traffic.
which is actually a perfect segue because the text uses the Jaywalker metaphor
Yeah.
to show how this glitch renders willpower totally useless.
Right. The guy who gets a thrill out of dodging cars.
Exactly. It starts off small, but the consequences escalate. He gets a fractured skull. A week later, a broken arm from a trolley car. He even voluntarily enters an asylum to mend his ways. But the exact day he is released, he inexplicably races right in front of a fire engine.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, though. I have to push back a little on the whole victim narrative.
Oh, how so?
Well, is the jaywalker just suffering a mental glitch, or is this sheer egotism? Because refusing to use a safe crosswalk 100 yards away, it feels less like a glitch and more like an arrogant lack of proportion. He just wants to run the show.
That is a crucial distinction.
Mm.
And the text validates that. It's an expression of self will run riot.
Right.
Think of an actor who desperately wants to manage the lights, the ballet, the scenery, like everything on the stage. The jaywalker refuses the crosswalk because his ego refuses to be constrained by the rules everyone else follows.
So the arrogance actually triggers the blank spot.
Precisely. His ego insists, I am smart enough to beat the system this time.
Wow.
That arrogant belief is the mechanism that overrides the brain's warning system. It effectively deletes the memory of the fractured skull. The egotism creates the blind spot.
Which means self-knowledge is completely defenseless against it. Your own ego is weaponizing your intelligence against you.
It really is.
So if your own mind is the enemy and willpower fails, what is the solution?
Well, the 1939 conclusion is pretty uncompromising. Human power is insufficient.
Right. You can't think your way out of it.
No. The only defense is a profound psychic change. It requires a complete deflation of that ego, relying on a higher power, and using service to others as a daily barrier against that self-centered insanity.
You essentially have to, evict yourself from the director's chair.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean for you listening? I think it really challenges our modern obsession with self-knowledge as the ultimate cure for our flaws.
Yeah, we like to think just analyzing our triggers is enough.
Right, but consider this. If the human mind can conjure absolute blank spots just to justify a life-threatening habit, what smaller everyday blank spots is your own brain creating right now to bypass your own logic?